Hey friends, Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Ali, your own channel for finance, education, and technology. So, the topic I want to discuss today is the share market, index fund, and the mutual fund. So, moving on. What is share market? You can understand share market as a shop where you can buy some percentage of ownership of companies. Normally, you buy groceries from shops, but in this shop, you buy companies. So, to understand more broadly, I will explain you with the same example of a grocery shop. For example, you can imagine food as companies and the amount of food you buy will be the number of shares, and the money you pay will be your investment. Now, I know it's kind of awkward, but this is the most easy way to describe the share market. The share market is just a market of various companies that are bought at certain prices. Well, the phenomenon of increasing and decreasing price of companies single share depends on the supply and demand phenomenon, which is again similar to a grocery store. So I hope you understood the meaning of share market and actually what actually happens in the share market. So now let's move on to what is index fund and share market. So an index fund is a passive investment that tracks the assets included in the index. The index fund does not actively invest in the market. Instead, it merely tries to manage the performance of the index by holding the same assets in the same proportions as the index. Basically, what index fund is a collection of shares of top 100, top 50, or top 500 companies, as the number of companies vary in every fund. For example, S&P 500 index, which is the 500 biggest companies of the US in which you invest money, and there is a percentage of shares in index fund which your money is invested in S&P 500. For example, we take the example of S&P 500. 7.1% is invested in Apple, 6.5% goes into Microsoft, 3.7% goes into Amazon, and so on. This list is so long. This is probably the highest profit-giving index fund in the world, with an all-time change of 39% from 1981 till now, which is 29x the money. So, what is a mutual fund in the share market? A mutual fund is a pool of money managed by a professional fund manager. It is a trust that collects money from a number of investors that share a common investment objective and invest the same in equities, bonds, money market instruments, and other securities. It's a fund manager who controls your investment. Hey, you don't have control, but you don't have to be worried because the fund manager is not a noob. He's an expert professional that is appointed for a mutual fund. I would advise you, if you want to be free and you want to beat the inflation, mutual fund is the best option for you, because if you compare that to the individual share, it's pretty much time saving, but this doesn't mean that by investing money in individual stocks you can't be rich. The best investment for the people who want to grow at an average return rate without having so much financial knowledge, mutual fund is for you. So, advantages and disadvantages of index fund. Well, I think there are not many big disadvantages in investing in an index fund, but yeah, everything has its own pros and cons. So, disadvantage number one is no control over the holdings. Indexes are set portfolios. If an investor buys an index fund, they have no control over the individual holdings in the portfolio. You may have specific companies that you like and you want to own, such as your favorite bank or food company that you have researched and want to buy. Similarly, in everyday life, you may have experiences that lead you believe that one company is markedly better than another. Maybe it has better brands management, or customer service. As a result, you may want to invest in that company specifically and not in its peers. At the same time, you may have ill feelings towards other companies for moral or other personal reasons. For example, you may have issues with the way a company treats the environment or other product it makes. Your portfolio can be augmented by adding specific stocks you like, but the component of an index portion are out of the hands. Disadvantage number two is the damped personal satisfaction. Finally, investing can be worrying and stressful, especially during times of market turmoil. Selecting certain stocks may leave you constantly checking calls, and this can keep you awake at night. But this situation will not be averted by investing in an index. You can still find yourself constantly checking on how the market is performing and being worried sick about the economic landscape. On top of this, you will lose the satisfaction and excitement of making good investment and being successful with your money. So now we move on to its advantages. Advantage number one, product diversification. The most obvious benefit of investing in index fund is that your portfolio becomes instantly diversified, minimizing the likelihood of losing some or all your money. Considering an index fund that tracks the S&P 500, this index would have about 500 different stocks, while the performance of each of these 500 stocks fluctuates over time. Investing in a fund that holds all of them matches your portfolio performance. To that, over the index fund itself, diversify your portfolio among so many companies by investing money into just one index fund. Ensure that the value of your portfolio is not overly overrated, with the fortunes of any one company listed in the index. Advantage number two, low cost. Another major benefit of investing in an index fund is that the cost, including taxes and management fees, may be lower than those associated with other types of mutual fund. types of investment funds. Low management fees. The first cost to consider the management fees each fund manager and actually annually collects. The amount of the fee, which varies based on the value of your holding, is determined by the fund's expense ratio. If you hold $1,000 in mutual fund with a 1% expense ratio, for example, you would pay $10 as management fees. So, advantages and disadvantages of mutual fund. First of all, let's discuss the advantages of mutual funds. Advantages of mutual funds. Advantage number one, not much financial education and time needed. I think this is the biggest advantage that the mutual funds have, that mutual funds do not require the investment of the time, as it is managed by a fund manager, by which you have some guarantee that your money will grow at a good percentage. Advantage number two, liquidity. Unless you opt for a closed-ended mutual fund, it is relatively easy to buy and exit a mutual fund scheme. You can sell your open-ended equity mutual fund unit when the stock market is high and make a profit. To keep an eye on the exit load and expense ratio of the mutual fund. Advantage number three, expert management. A mutual fund is good for investors who don't have the time or skills to do the research and asset allocation. A fund manager takes care of it and makes a decision on what to do with your investment. The fund manager and a team of researchers decide appropriate securities such as equity, debt, or a mix of both, depending on the investment objectives of the fund. For example, the fund manager also decides on how long to hold the securities. Now, your fund manager's reputation and track record in fund management should be as essential criterion for you to choose a mutual fund. Now, let's discuss its disadvantages. Disadvantage number one, cost of managing the mutual fund. The salary of the market analyst and fund manager comes from the investor along with the principal cost of the fund. Total fund management charges are one of the first parameters to consider when choosing a mutual fund. Higher management fees do not bring to better fund performance. Number two, dilution. While diversifying averages your risk of loss, it can dilute your portfolio as well. Hence, you should not invest in many mutual funds at a time. I hope you understood that what is stock market versus index fund and mutual funds fund and their advantages and disadvantages. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, share, and if you want more finance, technology, and education video, make sure to subscribe.